we finally got to our place in Neapel.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
Then we left the car at the parking garage.
In the garage, because they said you have to leave it in the garage when you go to Neapel. Because if you leave the car outside somewhere, they will take the car. and
we left it in the garage, and he left the keys in the car with the car windows open and everything, and so we had to go back and take the keys from him.
Yeah, we don't leave the keys in the car unlocked with the window down.
Yeah.
It's like the code for you can take this car. And then when we were walking here, it was like the most scariest thing I ever done.
It was like a back alley from a weird robbery movie or something, because when you walked in here, it was like weird people everywhere, and no entrance and no signs of the rooms, anything. It was just...
It was nothing.
Nothing.
So we had to find people outside in a gang, standing in a group, and like, oh my God, are we going to be robbed now? But finally a younger man came and, it's this way. And we went to a black metal door, and we just like, oh my God. And then we came to this beautiful room.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
We have like, look at the door. No one will come in through that door. And I'm just like, do I suppose to take my clothes off if we have to run? I don't want to run naked. I want to get the heck out of here.
And I had a nightmare about someone trying to break into the room. And in the dream I was paralyzed, I couldn't move, so I started screaming to try to wake them up. It felt so real. Then the next day I wondered if I had screamed something, and apparently I had woken them up last night because I was screaming out loud, and they were wondering what the heck was going on. Like the nearby city of Pompeii, Herculaneum is famous as one of the few ancient cities to be preserved nearly intact, as the material from the volcano protected it against looting and the weather. Although less known than Pompeii today, it was the first and for a long time the only discovered Vesuvian city. Today, only a fraction of the ancient sites has been excavated. The focus has shifted to preserve the already excavated portions of the city rather than exposing more.
It's different houses we walk into.
Så här de bodde. This is how they live.
Yeah.
Smaller than Pompeii, with a population of 5,000 people, Herculaneum was a wealthier town. It was a seaside retreat for the Roman elite. Yeah, some kind of kitchen it looked like. I guess they store their grain or something in this. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius buried Herculaneum under 20 meters of ash. The pyroclastic surge from the volcanic eruption has preserved organic-based materials and structures from the ancient civilization. The ash and debris by this surge has acted as a protective layer, effectively sealing and safeguarding objects such as wooden artifacts, roof, mosaic and even human remains. I have a great interest in Roman and Greek history, so be able to walk around and see how they lived at the time was really cool. Looks nice here. Sadly, I'm not in shape. I'm starting to get sick, so that sucks. So I can't enjoy this as much as I wanted to do so. This one was a bit naughty.
Look behind you.
Det där ska inte du hålla på, Neo. Det där låter det bli att göra. The remains of about 332 bodies have been found at Herculaneum.
Is it a jail? Oh, people are still in here. There were many people inside here. It looks like children in here. They are so tiny, heads and bodies. Yeah, it's children. They are really tiny skeletons here. Tiny child head.
Så ni får gå på äta ni.
We're now on our way to Pompeii. Now we're inside of Pompeii. This is the first place we went inside to. We have no idea what's coming, so this is really fun.
Luckily it's not that hot now, so hopefully my sickness will stand this test of Pompeii.
I wonder at the thing.
I have always dreamed of seeing Pompeii in real life, so it was really amazing to finally be here and experience it. It was just a shame that I had a fever and a cold, which meant I couldn't enjoy it to the fullest. Pompeii was a bigger town with 10 to 20,000 residents at the time it was destroyed. Following its destruction, Pompeii remained largely undisturbed until its rediscovery in the late 16th century. Major excavations did not begin until the mid-18th century. The first attempts to excavate the city were ill-conceived or overshadowed by looting, resulting in many objects or sites being damaged or destroyed. I'm just taking a stroll here, back in my garden. By 1960, most of Pompeii had been uncovered, but was left in decay. Further major excavations were banned or limited to targeted, prioritized areas. Since 2018, these efforts have led to new discoveries in some previously unexplored areas of the city.
The place for the slaves down here.
Pompeii is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, owning to its statue as the only archaeological site in the world that provides a complete picture of an ancient Roman city. You need to go harvest the grapes. I need my wine right now.
Okay. Medicine wine.
Look at that fig tree behind them. Too bad that they ruined the shot.
And you have the olive trees also, so they have the olive oil.
During the excavation in Pompeii, the remains of over 1,000 victims have been found. During the first phase of the eruption, those who hadn't left the city in time were trapped in their homes or shelters, buried by a shower of stones or killed by the roof and walls collapsing under the weight of falling volcanic debris. Afterwards, a high-temperature pyroclastic flow hit the city at high speed and filled all the spots not yet engulfed by the other volcanic materials, so that anybody still in the city died at once of thermal shock. The bodies of these victims remained in the same position as when the pyroclastic flow hit them, and being covered by a calcified layer of ash, the form of their bodies was preserved even after the biological material decomposed. Little over 100 casts has been made from these forms. The amphitheater in Pompeii hosted all the circus shows and the gladiatorial games so dear to the Pompeians, who devoted most of their spare time to these performances.
Vad gjorde du?
Attack! Fight for your life!
Ja!
Party!
You can run. Run for your life. Run for your life.
He's getting a heart attack.
What?
It almost feels like you're walking around at that time. You can really imagine how they must have lived back then. Pompeii lies in Campania on a volcanic plateau on the southern slope of Mount Vesuvius, about 30 meters above sea level and near the mouth of the Sarno River. Its panoramic and strategic position overlooking the Bay of Naples gave it a key role in trade on land and water for centuries. The city was founded by the Oscans, although its name may have Greek origins. Over centuries, Pompeii came under the influence of various people, including the Greeks, the Etruscans, Samnites, and finally the Romans. It started to get really tough for me to walk around here. We spent half a day here, but still did not explore the whole city. Give me a coin. I have a family back home.
A Russian hobo. A Roman hobo, I mean. Sorry, Russians. It's a Roman hobo. Pompeii hobo.
Yeah. Thank you for following our journey, it means a lot. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!
The end.